To really understand where we're going, sometimes you have to look back, way back. Today, we're zoning in on just one year, 1992. We're going to see how the experiences of a single pioneer during that year pretty much laid the groundwork for online education as we know it. So let's dive in. Okay, so to get a real feel for this, let's paint a picture of 1992. This was a year of huge global events. We saw conflict in Bosnia, riots in LA, and Bill Clinton being elected. It was still a very analog world. I mean, a new TV channel launching in Norway was massive news. This was a world right on the brink of the digital age, but not quite there yet.
But while all that was playing out on our TV screens, something else was quietly bubbling up on these brand new things called computer networks. It's a story that definitely didn't make the evening news, but, well, it would end up changing how we all learned forever.
So, our story follows this guy, Morten Flate Paulsen. He's a Norwegian doctoral student, and in 1992, he's spending the year at Penn State in the US. And let me tell you, his education went way beyond books and classrooms. It was a year of some serious culture shock.
First, you have the awe, right? The classic American tourist experience. Imagine driving down to Washington, D.C., seeing the White House, the monuments. And then at the Smithsonian, he actually got to touch a piece of the moon, a moon rock. How cool is that? It was this moment of just pure wonder, feeling like you're at the very center of the world.
But then reality hit, and it hit hard. His wife had a bad headache, spent just one night in the hospital for observation, and they get hit with not one, not two, but 3 different bills that added up to over $3,000. This is in 1992 dollars. It was a jaw-dropping introduction to American healthcare. And then the lawn. They go on a summer trip, they come back, and there's a note on the door, a $50 fine because the grass was, and I quote, too high. And it came with a warning of jail time if they didn't pay. So that whole illusion of America as the land of absolute freedom, yeah, that pretty much vanished.
But, okay, outside of these crazy personal stories, 1992 was also the year that his entire life's work really started coming into focus. It was right there at Penn State where his class assignments started evolving into something much, much bigger.
See, at Penn State, he got to pour all of his energy into this brand new field of online education. His professors were so blown away by his work, they actually gathered up all his papers and published them as this research monograph from Bulletin Boards to electronic universities. It was basically all his early thinking about the future of learning all in one place.
And inside that collection, there was something special. A very last article, kind of tucked away at the end, was the first ever version of a theory that would become, as he put it, the guiding star for the rest of his career.
So, what was this big idea? It's called the hexagon of cooperative freedom. I know, it sounds a little academic, but at its heart, it's a simple, powerful idea. It's a way to build online courses that give students real choice. Choice over their time, the content, how they interact, even the technology they use. It was a complete game changer, this idea of empowering the student, not just the school, especially when you're all learning from different places. Now, if you think developing a whole new theory in 1 year is enough, well, get this. Paulsen also got roped into a project that was so far ahead of its time, it's kind of mind-blowing. Looking back on it, you could honestly argue it was the world's very first MOOC. A massive open online course.
It was called the Bangkok Project. The plan was to run an online virtual conference alongside the big in-person distance education conference in Bangkok. Now listen to this. This all happened the exact same year that Thailand got connected to the internet for the first time. I mean, just getting online back then was a victory, let alone running a global academic discussion on it.
And we're not talking about some casual chat room. For 6 weeks leading up to the conference, you had top experts from around the world leading these deep, serious discussions on really critical topics. It just goes to show you how ambitious this whole thing was. So, did it work?
Oh yeah, one of the participants, Elski Hiran, just nailed it. She said the project was more than a great alternative for people who couldn't afford to fly to Bangkok. It created this totally new, inclusive way for people to learn and connect, proving you could do it all online.
So, after 2 years of culture shock, breakthroughs, and these wild online experiments, it was time for Paulsen to head back home to Norway. But he didn't just come back with souvenirs. He came back with what he liked to call his online luggage. He really broke down what he learned into these 7 key takeaways. On a professional level, it was crystal clear to him. Online education was the future, and the internet was how we'd get there. But personally, he also learned about the power of having colleagues all over the world,
why publishing in English matters, and hey, he even picked up a bit of that American self-confidence.
And here's the bottom line. He left Norway as a student, but he came back a visionary. Everything that happened in 1992 gave him the confidence and the big ideas he needed to become this major international voice for online education. And that became his mission.
That one year, 1992, basically packed his conceptual bags for an entire career. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? As we're trying to figure out our own world of AI and virtual reality, what's the essential digital luggage that we're packing right now for the future of learning?